Hey, what's going on, everybody? Meteorologist Myles Henderson here. Wanted to give you a weather update on the very active weather we're having moving in this weekend. Obviously, snow is the big headline, but we have a bunch of other things that we're going to have to talk about as well. So here's kind of a breakdown for you. As far as timing goes, the most widespread or the heaviest of the snow is going to be Saturday morning. All right, it's going to start later tonight, but really pick up as we go into Saturday morning. Very windy. That'll be the second big problem we'll have to worry about. We're talking north to northwest winds, 20 to 30, gusts to 40 plus miles per hour. Of course, strongest winds will be right along the coastline. Also looking at a pretty frigid weekend. We could see temperatures in the teens, wind chills in the single digits by Sunday morning. So incredibly cold. Let's start off with something that may have popped up in your feed already and you said, wait a minute, this can't be right. It's right. A blizzard warning in effect for parts of Virginia. It's on the eastern shore, so Northampton and Accomack counties on the eastern shore. There are very specific criteria for it to officially be a blizzard or to qualify for a blizzard warning. And you see them there on your screen. You have to have sustained or frequent winds 35 miles per hour or higher. You have to have considerable snow, and usually it's blowing or falling snow that reduces visibility to a quarter mile or less, right? That's why a blizzard is so troublesome, because not only is it just snow, but that wind is blowing it around, making it very difficult to see. And that has to last for 3 hours or more. So we're expecting those type conditions on the eastern shore. We do have some other warnings and advisories in the pink. Those are winter storm warnings. So that's spots like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Currituck, on the peninsula, Hampton, Poquoson, and York, and up towards the middle peninsula. These areas still going to get snow, still going to get strong winds, but not quite to that blizzard warning category, right? So we'll be a little bit below that. Think of that as kind of a step down. We'll step down another notch with that winter weather advisory, and that's for pretty much everybody else, right? All of our inland locations and south down towards the Outer Banks, still expecting snow here, still going to see some wind, but less. Right, another step down. So think of it as blizzard warning at the top, winter storm warning, winter weather advisory. Right, it kind of gives you tiers on what we're expecting with the impact. All right, let's take a look at the kind of the breakdown here. Rest of this afternoon, clouds. Right, we've seen this mix of clouds most of the day. Maybe a rain shower later this afternoon. After sunset, we'll start to see a little snow mixing in. Probably going to be pretty light. Really not going to accumulate too much as we go through the evening hours. Here's 11 o'clock tonight. Seeing some snow, especially as you look inland, some rain right along the coast. Again, I mentioned that the biggest impact is going to be overnight or Saturday morning. There's 3 o'clock in the morning, snow for a big chunk of the area. I'm going to pause it at 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Snow for basically everybody. Only exception may be down towards Hatteras, southern Outer Banks. Also note the winds, north to northwest, over 20 miles per hour with even higher gust. So let's talk about when the snow moves out. There's 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Notice things are wrapping up inland out towards I-95. That will slide its way to the east coast, slide from west to east, clearing out. So there's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So depending on where you are, we'll see that snow taper off between about 9 a.m. and 1 p.m., right? Earlier inland, later closer to the coastline. Then the clouds will follow suit as we go Saturday afternoon to evening. We will see more sunshine on Sunday. Here's kind of a breakdown with numbers of our chances. So about a 30% chance for a rain shower later this afternoon to early evening. We could see some of that mix around 8 o'clock or so, changing over to pretty much all snow by 11 o'clock. Say 70% chance there. Biggest chance Saturday morning, 80, 90%, tapering off as we go through that mid-morning to midday window. So by Saturday afternoon, the snow will have stopped falling, but it's still going to be out there. All right, how about the big question? How much? Here's our latest snowfall forecast. Most of Hampton roads in northeastern North Carolina falling in that 2 to 4 window. That's the dark blue you see there. The bullseye is going to be on the eastern shore, right? That's different than last weekend's storm. Remember last weekend, the bullseye was kind of Virginia Beach to Elizabeth City. Bullseye is going to be up on the eastern shore this time, 6 to 8, maybe even a little bit higher as you get closer to Maryland. Could see a little window of 4 to 6, closer to Cape Charles, areas like Matthews or Hampton, so bordering right along the Chesapeake Bay. And then the lower numbers 1 to 2 as you work south and as you work west. Let's get a little bit more specific for you. So pay attention for all those folks who are asking, what about insert town here? Here's the grand tour. So we'll move about the area to show you all the forecast numbers. Spots like Virginia Beach and Norfolk, closer to 4. Spots like Chesapeake, Suffolk, Portsmouth, Smithfield, closer to 3, and then 2 as you go inland towards Franklin and Wakefield. How about the peninsulas? Hampton around 4, maybe 5 for Poquoson and Matthews. Getting closer to the Chesapeake Bay, could see a little bit more. 3 as you head towards Yorktown, Newport News, Gloucester, 2 for Williamsburg. Again, the big numbers on the eastern shore. We'll say 6 for Cape Charles, closer to 8 for Chincoteague, maybe even higher on the eastern shore. I think that's the one spot where we get to see those levels go up even more. North Carolina, I think the highest numbers in Carolina will be closer to the Virginia line. So Moyock, Elizabeth City, Duck, dropping down to 2 for Hertford, Gatesville, 1 for Edenton. Notice those numbers fall as you go down the Outer Banks as well. So closer to 2 for Kildova Hills, closer to 1 for Manio, and then less than an inch, maybe a dusting as you go south of Oregon Inlet. I think we'll see a little bit more rain in the picture there. All right, so that's the snow picture. All right, let's change gears and talk about the wind. That could be a problem when it comes to power outages. We had some of that last weekend, but I think we have the potential for more this weekend just because the winds will be stronger, right? Not too bad today, maybe a little breeze kicking up this afternoon. They'll start to ramp up tonight. This is Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Sustained winds, 20, even 30 miles per hour near the coast. Gust, 30 to 40 inland, 40 to 50 right on the water. All right, so some powerful wind gusts. Obviously, with snow out there as well, we could see limbs or trees come down, which could knock down the power. So as you get ready through tonight into tomorrow morning, make sure your devices are all plugged in and charging. Take some time today to test your generator, make sure it's fueled up and ready to go, right? Go through all those checklists, make sure you know where the flashlights and the batteries are so they're good to go as well, just in case you lose power. It's going to stay windy pretty much all day Saturday, backing down as we go into Sunday morning. So Sunday, we will catch a break there. Could trigger some coastal flooding. Here's a look at our high tide cycle at Sewell's Point. 6 o'clock Saturday morning. That's the high tide I'm most concerned about. Could see some minor level tidal flooding. So spots Northern Virginia Beach, Norfolk, even working up the tributaries in the Chesapeake, could see some flooding. Basically anything that opens up to the north with those northerly winds driving down that wind and that water, we could see some flooding. Could also see some issues with overwash on the Outer Banks. Right? Could have problems on both the sound side and the ocean side. So watch out for that. The other story we'll have to deal with are the temperatures. It is going to get cold this weekend. I want to just give you a snapshot. This is Sunday morning. Temperatures in the teens. Wind chill in the single digits for spots, right? It's going to be extremely cold Sunday morning. We'll head to the 30s Sunday afternoon, so we'll get some melting going, but not a lot. Again, we'll have to watch out for that risk for refreeze again as we go Saturday night to Sunday and then likely Sunday night into Monday as well. We do really warm up as we go into next week. All right. I want to take some time here to answer some questions you may have. So I have another screen over here. I'm going to roll over a little bit so I can pull up the live stream at the same time. We'll do some Q&A. I try my best to monitor all the questions as they come in, but sometimes it's fast and furious. So if I miss your question, feel free to ask it again. Let's see here. All right. Some people may have joined us late. So let me back up to show you the snowfall totals again. There's the big map. So Sabrina's asking about Norfolk. Norfolk's going to be about 4. Shannon asking about Richmond. Richmond in that 1 to 2. They will get some snow there. Flights to Norfolk. Carrie Ann's asking about flights to Norfolk. I think we'll have some issues, especially if you're headed north, right? They're going to see a lot of snow up in the New England states. So you could have some big time problems up towards Boston, basically anywhere north of here could have some bigger issues. So that may have a trickle down effect on us. Liz, are we getting snow on the peninsula? Yes. I'll show you the big map and then we'll give you see a lot of people asking, what about insert town here? Let's do the tour again. Fire up the tour bus. Here we go. South side, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, 4. 3 for Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Smithfield, Suffolk, 2 for Franklin and Wakefield. And if you live in a town that's between one of these, your number is going to be between those two, right? I can't fit every single city, town, county stoplight on the map here. So stick with me. Peninsula, Eastern Shore. Big numbers will be on the Eastern Shore. That's going to be the bullseye this go around. Closer to 8 for Chincoteague, maybe even a little bit higher there. Closer to 6 for Cape Charles. 5 for Matthews and Poquoson, 3 for spots like Newport News, Yorktown, Gloucester, maybe 4 for Hampton, closer to 2 for Williamsburg. How about North Carolina? I saw somebody ask about the Outer Banks. There you go. 3 for Duck, 2 for Coatesville Hills, 1 for Manteo. We'll say a dusting as you go south of Manteo. 3 Elizabeth City at Moyock, 2 for Hertford and Gatesville, 1 there for Edenton towards Bertie and out towards Ahoskie as well. Cindy asking about the winds in Gloucester. They're going to be windy as well. I would expect Gloucester to see gusts close to 40 miles per hour. Right? They're going to be in the same boat for most of us. Right. I'll stick with you a couple minutes here so you guys can ask any questions you have about, it could be the snow, could be the wind, could be the risk for some tidal flooding, right? I know we have a lot of different kind of moving parts with this one. Taylor asking about Pungo. Pungo's Virginia Beach, but it is kind of close to Chesapeake. So, Virginia Beach was at 4, Chesapeake was at 3. So yeah, you'll land somewhere in the middle. Wind, I think it's going to melt. I think we'll have some leftovers, some refreeze, especially Monday morning, but we warm up at highs in the 40s Monday, Tuesday, highs in the 50s by Wednesday, highs in the 60s by Thursday of next week. So I don't think it's going to stick around very long. I think we'll see a lot of melting as we go into Monday. Carmen, power outages, yep, very real concern. Obviously, with strong wind gusts, we could have power outages for sure. I think that's going to be a bigger issue than what we saw last weekend. What time does it end? It should be wrapping up between about 9 o'clock and about 1 o'clock Saturday, depending on where you are, right? Wrapping up a little earlier inland, a little later along the coastline. Liz, I don't get to make the calls on schools. That's above my pay grade, as I like to say, but we'll wait and see on Monday when schools come around. I mean, they got to take the time to monitor the roads and all that kind of stuff. And obviously to do that several days out would be a little foolish, but. All right, let me back up again. Here's the timeline for when it's going to start. May start with some rain late this afternoon to this evening. We'll switch over as we go after sunset. The heaviest of the snow is really going to be overnight or early Saturday morning, right? So I don't anticipate too many problems today or even tonight. It'll be overnight into Saturday morning when it really starts to come down. A question about ice. I don't think we're going to see much as far as freezing rain goes or anything like that. So I'm not expecting ice accumulation from precipitation, but we could obviously see some refreeze. Right? That becomes an issue after it stops, it starts to melt, and then it gets cold again. So we could end up with some ice problems, not because it's falling from the sky, but because we get that refreeze going on. A question about the area near Virginia Wesleyan. Norfolk, kind of close to Virginia Beach. Yep, looking for about 4 inches. Is it possible that it could be closer to 4 to 6? Sure, right? There's always a little bit of wiggle room here, right? Because even within a neighborhood, you can get a little more in somebody's backyard versus another, right? I don't expect these to be exactly the number you see at every single spot across your yard, right? This is giving you a generalized area that we're looking at here. Matthew, as far as the type of snow, I think it's going to be pretty similar to last weekend. So I wouldn't call it super light and fluffy, but I wouldn't call it super heavy and slushy either, kind of right there in the middle. Justin, will the roads be snow covered? Saturday morning, I expect them to be. Yep, absolutely. You got to give the teams time to get out there and get the plows down. Most of them will tell you they don't even put the plows down until they get about 2 inches of snow on the roads. Of course, many spots may get to that point, so we'll start to see things going. But do I think the snow accumulation is going to keep trending downward in Virginia Beach? I don't. I think this is pretty much where we're going to land. Some of the models earlier this week, if you're watching updates throughout the week, they were sky high, right? We had some numbers well over a foot earlier this week. right? They've kind of come down, pardon my pun, but come down from the stratosphere a little bit. And that's what we usually see, right? We see these models kind of start to agree with each other and get a little bit closer and then settle on what we likely see, which is kind of where we're landing now. It is going to be very windy. Winds are going to ramp up overnight. Again, most of us will see sustained winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, gust 40 miles per hour, even stronger along the coastline. Jennifer, I'm not sure how this is weather related, but I like the question, so I'll answer it. Who do I think would win in a fight between Batman and Superman? It's got to be Superman, right? Batman's cool and all, but Superman has superpowers. All right, back to weather. Matthew, love the question. There is a cold front. We haven't talked much about a cold front moving through, but that's kind of working in at the same time. So cold front diving in, low pressure moving up the coast. Cold front's not going to have much of a push. A lot of times if it's a big, strong, powerful cold front, it'll give these hurricanes or low pressures kind of a nudge out away from us. Not going to see that much of a nudge from this one. A lot of it has to do with timing and things like that. We've been focusing more on the area of low pressure because that's what's going to spin up and really get going. That's going to be the bigger troublemaker for us versus just the cold front. Miss Kim, yep, Virginia Beach is in that 2 to 4, but kind of the northern part could be closer 4 to 6. So Virginia Beach, I know that's a big city. I would say northern parts of Virginia Beach could see a little bit more, maybe 4 to 5. As you go southern Virginia Beach, looking more maybe 3 to 4, right? So there's still some wiggle room even within one city, right? Again, we're not going to see this exact same number every single spot in an entire city, but just giving you a number to work with here. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm trying to bounce back and forth here and questions are coming in fast and furious. If I miss it, I apologize. Type it again. I'll go back and try to catch it this time. Williamsburg is going to be on the lower side. I expect Williamsburg to land at about 2 inches or so. Shirley, does it have to be 32 or less to see snow? Not always, because keep in mind it's colder as you go up into the air, right? So sometimes those snowflakes can survive even if it is above freezing at ground level, it may be colder above. Mike, it can go both ways. Mike's asking, okay, rain to snow versus snow to rain. We can see both sides, right? With something like this, where it's going to start as we go into the nighttime hours, right? Temperatures are dropping as we go into night. It makes sense, right? It may start as rain. As temperatures fall, it'll make the switch to snow. If the timing was different, then yeah, it may do the opposite, right? So if we had a snow event during the day and it warmed up, then yeah, we could see a switch over back the other way. Absolutely, you can go either way. We did have snow this time last year, same date. This day last year, we had about 3 inches of snowfall, at least in Norfolk. Portsmouth is in that 2 to 4 range. I expect Portsmouth to be about 3, maybe 4. Gonna start tonight. The heaviest will be overnight into tomorrow morning. So most of today, if you're thinking, I need to run some errands this afternoon, you'll be fine, right? Really shouldn't even have to think about the chance for snow until after the sun goes down, right? So tonight it will start. It'll really be worst Saturday morning. What do I have for North Suffolk? Suffolk is in that 2 to 4 bubble. North Suffolk will say closer to 3, maybe 4, a little lower as you go south and west towards Holland. Mike, I hope this is the last one, but we'll wait and see. Do I prefer coffee or hot chocolate in a blizzard? I'm not a coffee drinker, so I guess by default, I'd be hot chocolate. Chris, I don't agree with you, but we'll see. Gloucester points, yeah, Gloucester's going to be in that 2 to 4 range. I would say Gloucester's probably going to be maybe 3 to 4. All right, I think I got all the questions. I'll stick around for another minute or so just in case I missed yours and you want to throw it back in there again. I got to get out of the weather center. Chief Meteorologist Patrick Rocky just walked in. He's getting ready to kick me out. There's Patrick. Isle of Wight, you're right there in that 2 to 4 area as well. We'll say 2, maybe 3 for Isle of Wight. Lower Eastern Shore, maybe closer to 6. Upper Eastern Shore, closer to 8+. Do I think it'll stick around for the weekend? I do. I think we'll have plenty of snow on the ground on Sunday. Newport News, you're going to be in that 2 to 4 range. Virginia Beach, you see it on the map there as well. All right, I think I got everybody. All right, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Hope you have a great rest of the day today. Rosalind, if I'm saying your name right, I must have missed your question. Type it again. I saw your comment earlier that said, I missed your question. Type it again. I can't see them all at the same time. What's your question? Newport News. Yeah, Newport News are in that 2 to 4 range. You're in the blue there. I'll do the tour one more time, just in case you missed your specific town there. There's the south side. Mike, is it possible we get no snow? At this point, I think that'd be a pretty tough thing to see. I think we're going to get snow at this point in time. I would be shocked if we see no snow whatsoever. There's the peninsulas and the Eastern Shore. And there's North Carolina. Kelly's asking about driving Saturday evening. I wouldn't if you don't have to. Obviously, that's going to be when they're really working to get the roads as clear as they can and try to prevent any ice from forming. So I think things are still going to be pretty rough for the all day Saturday. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great day. Be safe this weekend.